Welcome back to my Let's Play for Pokemon Yellow and my Mono Poison run. It's time to take on the Elite Four and show off the power of a Pokemon that would be King. Because let's face it, King can basically dominate here with the moveset it has at this point. It looks at the Elite Four and is just like, I'm just gonna gobble them up. Because that's basically what he does. He just goes through everybody, like an unstoppable tank basically at this point. Well, first things first, we're gonna have to drop a Rock Slide. Unfortunately, this really ain't gonna kill Dugong. It's just got too much HP. I mean, it'll be close. If we get a crit, it'll definitely knock it out. Going with an Aura Beam. I'm okay with that. I mean, if it was Bubble Beam, I'd be a bit more worried because it'd slow me down, and I really don't want to deal with that because being slower would be dangerous. Because this team does have access to a lot of ice and water moves, and being a ground type, I don't like any of that stuff. Oh, Cloyster, definitely gonna take you out with a Thunderbolt. After all, Rock Slide doesn't really work on you very effectively because you're a defensive tank. On the physical side at least. Slowbro, well, my only real option is to go for the Thunderbolt here. I suppose I could technically send out Skullcrack and go for a Toxic Wrap strategy. I mean, it would work. It'd just be somewhat slow, but it'd definitely be effective. Well, that takes care of the Slowbro. What's out next, Jinx? Yep. Well, now, definitely have to throw rocks at you and hope for the best, I suppose. 10% chance it misses. Doesn't happen often, but when it does happen, you're like, oh my god, does that suck. Ooh, level 66. Nice. I actually have 4, Actually, I think I might have 5 rare candies on hand, so I actually could push myself up to higher level 71 if I wanted to. I don't really see the point at this point, though. Toxic. And then we're gonna go for some... Confuse Ray? Darn it! I was planning on using Wrap next, but I'm confused, so I'm gonna switch out to Barney and hope it gets killed off. I mean, I suppose if I actually had gotten lucky there and gotten the Leech Seed off, it would have been better. Because Toxic and Leech Seed actually feed into each other this generation, so if you inflict one, it starts raising the damage of the other. Which is really potent. There's no getting around that. Though at this point I don't really care if Barney's dead, We're just gonna use Wrap and let Toxic do its work by doing massive amounts of damage. Skullcrack in here has probably one of the more dickiest strategies you could possibly deploy in this game. Lock down your opponent with Wrap and then let Toxic, slowly bleed them to death. Unbelievably dickish, How dare I? Well, that was easy. Yes, going ahead to face off against Bruno. Master of physical combat, right? Well, we'll put Skullcrack up front for this. After all, the dude does run 2 Onyxes, and I'd like to be prepared for that. I don't want to waste a Blizzard before we get over to, Lance the Dragon Master. After all, those will let us drop his Pokemon, and basically just boom, one hit. I mean, I might be willing to switch over to Nidoqueen for that fight just to save a little more power. At least for the Dragonite, because Ice Beam should probably be more than enough to kill, with that 4 times multiplier. But first things first, we need to take care of this freaking snake. After that, we can let Harry basically just tear the rest of the team apart. With a few Thunderbolts and stuff. Yep, get out there, champ. I need you to kill my enemies. Like, utterly. I don't suspect Hitmonchan's gonna survive this, because let's face it, its special defense... Well, actually, its special stat in Gen 1 was just crap, which is why getting at the elemental punches was such a bad idea. It can't use them at all. Like, it can, but it doesn't use them effectively, so why would you bother? It's just got a build that just doesn't really work for it, so if you're grabbing a fighting type in Gen 1, you're gonna want to take Hitmonlee. I still don't want to waste that, so we're gonna switch back over to Skullkraken for another Surf attempt. I suppose I could technically leave Skullkraken in there for the Machamp, since I can't one-shot it, so I could go for, dicking around with it, I suppose. With, Toxic and Wrap again. After all, it is a fun strategy to show off. Albeit one that only really works this gen. Because in Gen 2, they fixed Wrap, so it doesn't do stuff like that anymore. Because they realized how absolutely broken it was. Well, looks like we're gonna get our poison. Gonna use an item, eh? Well, that doesn't really matter for what I'm doing. After all, I just need to buy time now until you lose. And it's not like he can switch out either, so he can't actually turn this back into regular poison. Well, more damage for us. Though I'm not sure why he's using something X defense. They're not really gonna help here. Besides, unless you're running, a flying type, you're probably not gonna try and shred this thing on the physical side anyway. Well, that takes care of 2 of the Elite Four members. How could you lose? Because you're outclassed. Well, next time we'll take on Agatha and Lance. Until then, see ya.